guys, this is Chris, the short sale guy. What's going on today? Thanks for stopping by, checking out my video. Wanted to go over some commonly asked questions, frequently asked questions that we get from people. Thought this might be really helpful as you're kind of exploring short sale and your different options that you have when, unfortunately you're behind on your mortgage and you're looking for a good solution. So question number one, what's the difference between a short sale and a foreclosure? Well, a foreclosure is where it's more of a forceful action, right? The bank is going to foreclose on you. Many times it's against your will, and they've just decided the payments are too far behind, and they're foreclosing, and they just basically forcefully take the property back. And a foreclosure, you can watch our other videos, is far worse than options such as a short sale. Now, short sale, what is that? A short sale basically is where the lender will agree to take less for the property than what's owed. So just to make it as simple as possible, taking out closing costs and all those things from the equation. Let's say you owe $150,000, but the property's only worth $135,000. That's where the lender says, okay, look, we're going to take a $15,000 loss on this house. And a lot of times people ask, they say, Chris, I don't understand. Why in the world would the lender want to take a loss when they could foreclose? Well, it's a good question, right? And the reason is that the lenders lose so much money on foreclosures. They really do. They have to pay expensive attorney's fees to foreclose. Many times they get the property back in worse condition because people are upset about how they were treated, and they'll vandalize the property sometimes. Many times it's just that the property sat vacant after foreclosure, and then they come and squat in the property or they damage it. There's fees of cleaning up the property and just all kind of stuff that makes it really, they lose so much more money when they foreclose on a person versus allowing a short sale. So that's the difference. Another commonly asked question, what does it cost for me to do this, right? Okay, Chris, I want to do a short sale. You're the short sale guy. I want you to short sell my house, but how much am I going to have to pay you, Chris? Well, the good news is you don't have to pay anything. It's free. And the reason is because the lender pays the commissions on a short sale. So typically the seller would pay commissions, right? You understand that. But when it's a short sale, that will just be included in the loss that the bank takes, and they will pay the listing agent's commission and the buyer's agent's commission. So it costs you nothing, right? So how can you go wrong? Number three, will I owe anything after the short sale? Man, that's a good question. We get a lot. I think that, first of all, it's important that you get in writing from the lender, and we'll assist you with this, that your debt is settled after the short sale. We want to make sure we get that in writing, and it's pretty common to get that. But we do want to make sure that we have it in writing, so if anything happens down the road, you have proof, right? And this means that you'll have no further obligations to worry about. And, many times, which is really cool with the short sale, is you may also have the HOA may have filed a lien. There could be some property tax liens, and maybe there's solar panel liens, water purification systems. We've seen a lot of things like this where when a short sale's done, you might get more than your mortgage resolved. It could also take care of some of these other things too, which is way cool. Another question is, will I receive money from the short sale? That's a great question. Well, if you have a ton of equity, then obviously you wouldn't do a short sale, but you're probably here because that's not the case. Even many times, people think, well, yeah, I only owe 140,000, Chris, and I have buyers that want to buy it for 150. So man, I got $10,000 in equity. That's not necessarily true because you're going to have closing costs, right? There's going to be realtors commissions. Now I'm talking about if you think that you did not need to short sell it. And let me start over and make sure we're not confusing this with the short sale. Many times people think I don't need to do a short sale because I have $10,000 in equity. And in that situation, I say you really don't, because then if you're in an equity position, supposedly you have to pay the realtor commissions. You have to pay HOAs, prorated taxes, all of these types of closing costs, title company fees. And by the time you add all that up, that might be $15,000 in closing costs. Well, now you don't have 10,000 in equity. You actually have to bring 5,000 to the table. So I'm just trying to explain, a lot of times you think that you have equity and you don't. That's why a realtor like myself can help you out. Pull comps, run the CMA. Let's see what we think the property is worth based on its current condition and in the current market that we're in. But the question was, will I receive money from a short sale? I got sidetracked, y'all. I'm sorry. The question is yes, many times you can. We're going to work hard to get you relocation assistance, and it's actually pretty common There may be one or two stubborn lenders out there, but most of the time, yes, we're going to get you what we call relocation assistance. It's going to help you get into that new home. Now, there's certain things we got to be really careful about when we do this. First of all, we want to negotiate, try to get the most we can. Usually runs anywhere from 1,500 to maybe 5 or 10 grand. That kind of that range is common based on loan amount and other factors that many times we're not privy to. But we've seen people get as much as 25,000. Straight up, not even kidding with you. Now that, maybe that's on a higher end home, that sort of thing. But the money is there and people don't realize it. And it's such a blessing because many times when you're, in that situation, you need some assistance, right? I was there. You've seen my website, hopefully. If not, go check it out, shortsaleguy.com. And my family and I were there in '08, having to face the pain of, and actually one of my houses that I was living in was foreclosed. And another house I had that was an investment property, I short sold. And the difference was night and day. The foreclosure, I got realtors knocking on my door telling me to get out, sheriff wanting to put everything on the curb, humiliating, neighbors wanting to know what's going on. Oh, it was an awful experience being foreclosed on. And then short selling my house, it was so awesome because I got to set the terms. We picked out the closing date, gave me some time, got some relocation assistance. It was way better to do that. Now I'm getting off track again. So will I receive money after the short sale? The answer to that is yes, you should. That's why a good realtor will fight for you. We'll make sure we're negotiating on your behalf. And also some things you need to know, like, you can't move out of the property right away because if you're under contract to short sell your house and the appraiser comes out and you're gone, a lot of times the banks say, hey, they don't need relocation assistance here. They already relocated. So there's some things we can coach you on, right, to make sure we're trying to get that money in your pocket to help you out as you overcome and move into this next season of life. Another question is, how will a short sale affect my credit? Well, it depends on many things, but the most important thing is missed payments. The quicker you come to us after you get behind on your mortgage and the more we can minimize those missed payments, that is so much better because that makes a really bad mark on the credit, right? But outside of that, most people agree that a foreclosure or a bankruptcy is far more impactful negatively to your credit than a short sale. Now, many times when people come to us, they already have missed payments and they've already done a bankruptcy. And now they're at the point where they're looking at other options because they're back behind on their mortgage. Well, you can't do nothing about that, but we can still minimize it best we can. It still looks better, in my opinion. Let's say 3 years down the road and you're applying for financing, you've recovered financially, you got your back on track and maybe you're wanting to buy a car. Well, just think about it. When a lender looks at your credit and they see a short sale versus a foreclosure, to me, that speaks volumes. A foreclosure, you just kind of walked away is how it looks like the bank had to take it back from you forcefully, right? Let me fix my hat, y'all. I'm keep my cool. And on a short sale, it says to them, look, this person did all they could in a negative, in a distasteful situation. This person did what they could to work with the bank and give the property back and do it the right way. That's my opinion. And I believe a lot of lenders do look at it like that. And the credit scores reflect that because if you just on face value take a foreclosure and a short sale most of the time impacts your credit less negatively than a foreclosure does. All right, y'all. Let's move to number 6. Are there any tax implications of a short sale? That's a challenging one, and we defer to an attorney for you to ask that question. I'm just going to give my opinion, not legal advice. My opinion based on what we've seen. Basically, a short sale is where the lender forgives the debt. It's a relief of debt. I'm reading my notes. And the IRS may treat this as income for tax purposes, okay? But a limited exemption allows homeowners to pay no taxes on certain types of debt forgiven. Now, the government has been extending this Mortgage Debt Forgiveness Act since 2007. They've been extending this. Right now, this video is 2023. They continue to extend it. And honestly, we don't see them stopping. It's probably going to become a permanent part of law because you think about it, right? When people are in this situation how are you going to pay taxes on a debt forgiven when you're in a difficult financial situation? I just think it makes sense. So a lot of times, maybe most of the time, we're seeing that there's no tax implications. However, do not take short sale guy's word for it. That's where a good attorney comes in. Let them advise you on that. All right. Now, next one is, how long does a short sale take? Average is 3 to 4 months, right? I mean, sometimes it can be quicker, sometimes it may be longer. One of the things that's important when it comes to timeframes is just asking you guys to please cooperate as quickly as you can with providing documents, right? Like when we go to the lender and we say, Mr. John, Miss John Doe wants to do a short sale, there's things we have to present. We have to give them a hardship letter. We need bank statements, right? We need just different things for income verification. They want to know why you're in this situation. It could be tax returns. And our team is great at getting all this information and getting it to the hands of the right people at the lender. But we need the ammunition, right? We need something to work with. So as long as you can cooperate and be as timely as you can, we can get that time frame down as quick as we can. The property is going to be priced to sell. It's a short sale. You're not getting any equity from it. So the best thing is to price it competitively so that we get an offer quickly, minimize those missed payments, and get this thing wrapped up. All right, last one is, do I need to move right away? Man, this is another good question we get all the time. The answer is no. You can stay in your home, use this time to find a new place to live, because we just talked about average short sale takes maybe 3 to 4 months to complete. And it's better that you stay there during that time so that you can take advantage of the relocation assistance and not have to pay any rent. And then just kind of plan as we're getting closer to the short sale approval and getting closer to the close date, then you can kind of start looking for your property. Take advantage of this time in the house to kind of prepare for that next season of life. All right, guys, you know I love you. I'm the short sale guy, Chris Lawrence. Appreciate you watching my video. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time.